Welcome to the Cackling Jackal. My name is James, and today we're going to be playing Civilization 6 with the new expansion, Rise and Fall. This one came out yesterday for the day that I'm recording it. Oh, maybe it was today, because it would have been yesterday in America because time zones and time travel. I've been really excited for this expansion to come out. Really excited. It adds a whole bunch of new features, especially Great Ages are back in the game. As well as Dark Ages are new to the game. And we've got a bunch of new civs. I don't even know what I'm going to play yet. So, this is the first time I've loaded it up. And, well, to be honest, it's the second time I've loaded it up because I did a quick thing just to sort of see how the recording went. But this is the first time I'm actually going to start looking at the new civilizations. So, let's get into a game. Single player. Let's create a game. Cool. So for those of you who have not played Civilization, a lot of those words might not mean a lot to you. But basically we've got the map type. Civilization is, for those of you who really know nothing about Civilization, it is a strategy game where you start with a civilization and you take that civilization through the ages. You make them better, you make them get more technologically developed, and you try to be the winning civilization, which is based on a number of different victory conditions, which we'll get into as we go. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to play as Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan is obviously the Mongol civ leader thing, that one. He has a lot of he has a couple of cavalry unit bonuses. So first of all, his unique unit is a cavalry unit, a ranged cavalry unit, and it can escort civilian and support units, which is pretty cool. It also, all cavalry units get a +3 combat strength and a chance to capture any defeated enemy cavalry units. So this is really cool. It means that I can make sure that I focus on my fast units from the get-go, have a lot of cavalry running around the map, and I can even capture some of my enemies. They also have the ability Auto here, which I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I doubt it is, but it basically means that I create trading posts in cities, in other people's cities, a lot easier. And what that means is I have even a greater bonus for diplomatic visibility than most civilizations. Also, I have the unique building, the Ordu, which I believe is most likely a upgrade that goes in the encampment. And it basically gives +1 movement to cavalry units trained to the city. It also gives combat experience, blah blah blah. Anyway, it probably replaces the stable. Let's just get into it. Start game. If it loads. There we go.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. Genghis Khan, your cunning built Mongolia an empire from the back of your horse. Always charge to meet enemy cavalry, for a victory can draw them to your ranks. Send your swift and powerful Keshig archers to hasten your citizens across the land. Soon, the steady drumbeat of Mongolian cavalry is a sound you will teach the world.
Thank you, Sean Bean. I do love the fact that he has done all of the voiceover work for this game. They did a similar thing with Civ 5, but they had Patrick Stewart do the lines, which was really cool as well. But I do love Sean Bean. And this is a role where he's a narrator. He probably won't die. So that's cool in its own right. Anyway, here we start the game in this beautiful land that I shall call Mongolia. And we start with 2 units. We start with a settler unit and we start with a warrior unit. So what's going to happen is we're going to try and pick a good place to settle. This isn't actually a bad one. I could settle right in this place. In fact, you should always consider settling right where you are, because it means you're not wasting any turns moving before getting things going. Yeah, if I cross this river, no, that's not really great. The game is recommending that I can come down here. It would put me next to the horses right away, which is also pretty important. But I could also do that just by moving 1 space down here. Get the hills over here. We also have these cattle here, which are bonus resources, which will help us grow quicker. But what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to move my warrior here. I'm just going to move them up onto this hill, because I want to see what other tiles are around here. Cool, and it looks like that. Even more cattle. What? Wow, we have a lot of cattle. This city here will eventually reach those cattle. I can set up a science thing or a holy site if I wanted to in these mountains, which would give them bonuses, because for those of you who don't know, we'll see that later. I think I'm going to settle right in place. It is tempting to move here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to move one space, and then I'm going to found my city. Oops, didn't mean to right click there. Cool, we now have the city known as Karakorum. Karakorum? I don't know, I'm not familiar with that city at all. So, we have now settled, we need to choose production. So, this is our production menu. We're basically going to choose what unit we want to build, or what upgrade building we want to build. In this case, I think I want to send this warrior off to scout, although I could also build a scout for that specific purpose. Builders are good because I can get my hands on these horses quicker, sooner rather than later. And actually these cattle. So I'm very tempted to go builder, but I think to start off with, I'm going to get a second melee unit. Not melee unit, because I'm going to go with Slinger, which is not a melee unit. Slinger is a ranged unit, but it only has a range of 1. That might sound like it's a melee unit, but they don't get attacked back, which is pretty cool. Now, we need to look at our technology tree. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to go animal husbandry. This will unlock both the horses and the cattle for me. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer, in fact. The only other thing I can think of is if we wanted to rush astrology and trying to get a particular religion, because we could build a holy site amongst these mountains, but it's going to take a while. Yeah, animal husbandry it is. Let's keep going. I wonder if they've done some updates to the minimap, or whether it's just that I'm usually not used to seeing it this zoomed in, because I've usually, searched a lot more. Cool. That sound means we found a tribal village, and it's right here. The tribal villages will basically give us bonuses based on a random roll. So let's see what we get next turn. Okay, here we go. These guys might look similar to us, but we actually have the dark red. We have light red on dark red. They have dark red on light red. That's because these are barbarians, and this one in particular, this is the symbol for a scout. And what barbarian scouts do is they are getting sent out from a barbarian encampment somewhere. And if they find our city, they will report it back to the encampment, and then we'll have a whole bunch of barbarians coming after us. Awesome. So, I think that's us. We actually got an error score. So, this is new to the expansion. This is our history. What do they call it? A history timeline. So in 3920 BC, on turn 3 of the game, we got +1 error score because villagers bring gifts as they joined our city. Lovely. What they brought was, if we open our technology tree, what is called a Eureka. A Eureka for the archery tech. Basically, it means it researches some of that tech for us. It's really cool. You'll actually notice all of these techs beyond these 3. All of these techs actually have a to boost down below. And that basically means, for instance, if I found a city on the coast, I will get the Eureka for sailing. You'll also notice if you are used to playing Civilization 6 without the expansion, these Eureka bars are much shorter. That's because there are ways later in the game for us to make them do more. They used to be 50%, but now they are more like, I don't know, is that 40? Maybe. And for those of you who are completely new to Civilization, this is what is called the technology tree, and it is quite big. You might think, okay, well, that is a big technology tree, but it seems pretty straightforward. You are right, but then there is also a civic tree, which is very similar, and it basically handles our culture's progression as opposed to our scientific progression. So, lots to do in this game. Let's keep moving on. Okay, that barbarian went that way, but we might want to start hunting them down. Or we could just take out their city, their encampment. They have spearmen here. What are our stats there? Okay, it's pretty much a stalemate, but I'm actually going to move into these woods first. It's going to take 2 movement because this is considered rough terrain. But it means if they choose to attack me back after I attack them, they, because they're attacking into the woods, they'll get a negative modifier. Okay, so we got there. That was pretty even fight. Now I'm wondering if this scout is coming through here or whether they've gone off in this direction. We will see. Okay. Fight's continuing on. You can see the health bars there going down. Now, I don't really have the health to attack them again, so I'm just going to fortify until healed. The longer you spend fortified, the more of a defensive bonus you get. So, you know, fortifying in one turn doesn't give you a whole bunch, but while I'm there and not doing actions, I will regen health. And at that point, I can attack them again. They don't heal health nearly as quickly as we do.
Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals.
It's a nice line from Winston Churchill there, and it sounds even better in Sean Bean's voice. So, we can successfully researched as animal husbandry. I was about to say animal husbandry. This allows us to build pastures and camps, and also allows the harvesting of sheep and cattle, which I don't think we're going to be harvesting anything anytime soon. Cool, we now have a slinger. This is our slinger. They are a ranged unit, which means that they can attack any tile that's immediately around them. Same as a melee unit can, except we don't go charging into their space. We just sort of throw rocks at them, which hurt them, but they don't get to fight back, which is useful. I'm going to use that to sit in my city and protect it. Over here, let's first of all choose our research, because that just finished. I might want to get archery, since we have boosted it. Mining, we don't have any mines in our area right around us right now. Sailing, don't even have, we've got water up here. I think I'm going to go archery, or mining. What does mining lead to, is the question. Mining leads to masonry, bronze working, and the wheel. Yeah, that's fair enough, but... well, where do we get our first first cavalry unit? Horseback riding, which is here, which follows archery. In that case, definitely going archery. Let's choose next production. We could build a settler, but I think first I'm going to build a builder. I want to make use of these resources, and only a builder can do that. Then I might think about making a settler to go settle another city. Now, what am I waiting for? What was I doing with my turn? I think I was just continuing on. Awesome. Look at that hair. That hair. This is Alexander the Great from Macedon, otherwise known as Greece. Would you like to visit our nearby city and sample our hospitality? Or we have no time for pleasantries? Let's invite him in. Awesome. Now, let's have a look. Where is he? He found us somewhere. Maybe he ducked into our range and then ducked back out of it. Yeah, might have been over here somewhere. Okay, that's cool. So we now know the Macedonian Empire exists. And by meeting a new civilization, we get +1 error score, which is cool. Down here we are at 2 out of 12 error score. When we get to 12, when we get to a certain technology, we will advance to the next era. At that point, if we have less than 12 error score, we will enter a dark age. If we have 12 to 23 error score, we will have a normal age. And if we have above 24, we will have a golden age. Awesome. So hopefully we can do some more notable things, which, you know, I think you can do that by building wonders. You can do all sorts of other things. I'm going to attack with this guy now because we can probably easily beat him. Cool, we did, and this will probably give us... Oh, we didn't kill him. He's just got health left. That is fine. We'll just wait another turn. Clearing out this encampment will probably also give us more error score. Whack. Awesome, and yes, it did. And we also got the boost. They don't call them Eurekas for civics. I think they're inspirations. So we got that for military tradition. Oh, it's +2 error score. Awesome. Also, this unit's available for promotion next turn, and we get a civic boost, which we've already seen. Let's just keep going. Hit that next turn button like it's nobody's business. Alright, let's promote our guy, because this will also heal him somewhat, because he is very injured right now. We can either go Battle Cry or Tortoise, and we can go down these trees. This is more combat strength against melee and ranged units, and melee doesn't include cavalry and things like that. They're not... It's kind of a weird classification. Or extra combat when defending against attacks. We can go Tortoise. Awesome. We can also see some bananas over here. This looks like a lake. Is this a lake or is this a sea? I don't know. Maybe there's an outlet here. Yeah, that takes a whole turn for them to get promoted.
It is not wisdom, but authority that makes a law.
Awesome. So we successfully got the Code of Laws Civic, and what this unlocks is policies. So let's change our policies. Right now we can choose 2 policies. We can choose a military policy and an economic policy. And those options are over here. We'll unlock many, many, many more as the game continues. So we can either get a bonus for fighting against barbarians or double experience for recon units. At the moment we don't have any recon units, so I'm going to go with combat strength against barbarians. And we can either start getting some faith and gold in the capital, or I think I'd rather get production right now. Confirm. Yes. Speaking of production, also the visuals of the game change depending on... There's like a day cycle, even though we're advancing in years. I don't know, it's weird. But it looks pretty. Let's look at our citizen management. So, in this view we can see all of the tiles that our city is currently working and not working, and that it owns or doesn't own, and what tile it's going to consume next. I shouldn't say consume. What's the word? Expand to. At the moment we are using this tile, and this tile. And that is giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 food. But we're getting 2 from this tile as well. So that's 10 food and 3 production. That's awesome. When we unlock this tile, I'm assuming this tile, or maybe this tile, depending on how the AI does it, we'll switch to this tile. Now we can manually do these. We can lock them and all that sort of thing. Also, when we build on here and here, those will get better as well. So let's choose a civic. Improve 3 tiles. I'm actually going to start researching this one. The reason being is by the time this gets anywhere near completing, we will have our builder, and we can probably build 3 tiles relatively quickly. That meaning that we'll get the boost. These boosts are important to take into account, because if you plan around them, you can become much more efficient at your civilization building and your research. That's not Alexander right. That's not Alexander right there, is it? Oh, it is. Wow. We need to get a crack on. Okay. Let's keep moving. I'm just going to keep exploring. There's some nice spots for a city up here, but it is quite far away from my capital. Let's go here. Okay. We have met a city-state known as Antioch. As far as I know, Antioch is from the expansion. So what we can do is, first of all, we have met them. Cool. They have a quest for us, And also we are the first person to meet them, so we get an envoy. Let's talk about envoys. Let's go in here. You can see we have one envoy sent because we were the first person to meet this city-state. And we have one envoy sent, so we get this bonus, plus 4 gold in the capital per turn. That's pretty awesome. We've got our resources up here. When we get 3 envoys, we'll get plus 4 gold in every market building, which, you know, if we decide to build a lot of commercial districts, will end up being a lot of gold. Plus 4 gold in every bank building as well will be if we get to 6, and that's the same sort of thing, commercial districts. But also, whoever has the most envoys in a city, and at least 3, gets the unique ability for that city-state. So, the Antioch's bonus is our trade routes to foreign cities earn extra gold for each luxury resource at the destination. Awesome. I am going to love that, because I'm hoping to build a lot of foreign trade posts. So let's have a look at them. Antioch, where are you? You're right here. What is your quest for me? Doesn't it show you my quest? Just quests 1. Cool. Trigger a Eureka for astrology. So, if we go to the astrology thing, find a natural wonder. Now, there's not much we can do to influence this other than do some exploring, which we're already starting on. Hopefully we'll find a natural wonder soon, which will give us a free envoy there. Hello, Indonesia. Gitarja. I'm probably butchering all these names. Okay. Yeah, let's sample your nearby hospitality. Awesome. We don't know where they are, but they've come scouting out in this direction, so they can't be too far off. Okay. Again, we met a new civilization, so we get more error score. We've got 5 so far. And you can see these are collecting up here. We can also tell them how friendly or unfriendly they are, which is useful, I guess. They start off as unfriendly. Doesn't mean they're hostile, they're just not particularly friendly. Okay, we finally got our builder. Let's prioritize getting the horses up and running, I guess. What do you want to start with? We'll start with the cattle. So, we could do here, we can actually build a pasture, which happens in 1 turn. It also apparently gives us the Eureka for horseback riding, which we definitely want, because I think that's the next research we're going to start researching in 1 turn. And these builders, by the way, have 3 uses. You can tell by the number of people. There were 3 of them, and one of them died to build this stable. I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much. But yes, and that ends their turn. Let's choose production because we finished building that builder. Now we definitely want to get this settler out. We need to start expanding. Otherwise, we will fall very far behind.
May the forces of evil become confused while your arrow is on its way to the target.
Okay. We unlock the archer unit, and as we'll see in a minute, we might be able to upgrade our slinger into an archer. We also unlock the Temple of Artemis. This is a new wonder to the game. Each camp, pasture, and plantation improvement within 4 tiles of this wonder provides +1 amenity. Must be placed adjacent to a camp improvement. That is really cool, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it. It would be awesome to get it in this city. Oh, actually, we might be able to. Depending on what's over here. Yeah, I don't think we have many camps to make, unfortunately. Okay, let's choose our new research. I think we want to just jump into horseback riding. Or do we want to get pottery? Pottery goes to riding, which is nice. Yeah. Before we go too far down this track, I think we want to get pottery and mining. Which one do we want first? I don't think we have anywhere to mine, so I think I'm going to go pottery, and then followed by mining. If you hold shift, you can queue them up. These 3 are the basic techs that you should probably get done before most other things. Okay, this guy over here is going to probably do the same thing here. And as you can see, if we look at our citizens, they have gone and moved on to these tiles that are better. What we're actually going to do is we're going to click here, I'm going to click here, so it prioritizes food and production above everything else. Which, you know, that's all that's available right now, but it won't be. Cool. Let's keep moving. Keep moving. Cool. We're true friends with smaller civilizations. We appreciate that you recognize this fact. Awesome. So he's just saying that he likes us a bit because we are friends with a city-state, in this case Antioch. Okay, more water. That's actually quite nearby. And finally we're going to use our last builder build to build on these horses, which will be next turn. He is maybe not too proud of us having not a great army. Which, you know, I don't mind. We will have a great army one day. We just need to get the groundwork set up for it first. Now, we can't actually go across here. These mountains are impassable, and at the moment we don't have the technology to go across water. So, we're going to have to go back home a different way. Let's use the last build here. As you can see, if we go down here, this is quite a good tile for the early game. Awesome. We've got to start thinking about where we want to put this settler. We can also see, unfortunately, Alexander grabbed the jade here. But, you know, it happens. We might just be able to take over this city later. This is a slow start for us. There is a barbarian thing. Now we can actually... I'm actually going to upgrade our slinger to an archer. Archers are very similar to slingers. They might have slightly better stats, but also they can shoot 2 tiles away instead of just 1, which is a whole lot more useful. Your delegation is most welcome. Okay. Now I'm unsure whether they spotted my city or Alexander's city. The exclamation mark told you that they had spotted one, and that meant that they were on their way to take down, to go back to their encampment, alert their friends, who would then come and try and take us out.
In the good potter's hand.
Cool. Pottery. Granary.
Skill without imagination is craftsmanship.
I think they might have, yeah, we got the civic as well, which gives us these things. Let's change our policies. So you can change your policy for free anytime you get a civic. You can also pay to change them at any time, but we've got 2 new options here. 50% production towards ancient and classical era melee, anti-cavalry and ranged units. I'm actually going to hold on to this one, just because we might be fighting a lot of barbarians like very soon because of that scout that saw us. This is plus 30% production toward builders, which is also useful, but I think I'm going to stick with the general +1 production. Okay. Let's go military tradition. We have the boost for it. Why not? Let's just keep trying to chase down this unit, see where it is. We got a notification there saying that a capital needed more amenities. We get that by getting luxury resources, which I don't quite know where any are. I think that she was saying that she's, you know, she doesn't mind us because we are not taking up the coastland. Awesome. Killed the scout before it could report to its peoples, which is good news. That's not good news. Less good news. Okay, get up on this hill. That way, if they want to attack us, they have to attack us up the hill, which is just in our benefit. Awesome. I'm going to get the settler to move here. And then going to get it to cancel your orders. You were going to link up with the settler and skip your turn. Linking up just means that they'll move as a unit, which is important, and they'll use whichever unit has the lowest movement. Next. Builder could be useful. Yeah, I'm going to start by building a builder. Just because I think it'll be nice to have a builder ready to go when we plant this city down. So, let's see. Where do we want to settle? I think I want to settle up here. Yeah. Let's attack him. Lovely. They're probably going to pull away now because they can't attack us this turn. It'll take them... Most units have 2 movement. At least most early units do have 2 movement. So he'll try and move here, and then it takes 2 movement to move into a hill. And you can see this is a hill tile. You can actually also see things a bit clearer if you wanted to go to this tactical map, this strategic map rather, which I think also looks amazing, but I'm not used to it at all. Cool. The other thing you got to consider when trying to choose where to build your city is building it on a water source is really good. We built our first city here on a river, and that's because we get a lot of housing from building on a river. If you're adjacent to a freshwater source, which is a river or a lake, you get, I think it's +5 housing to begin with or something. If you build adjacent to saltwater, like a coast, I think that's +3 housing. And if you don't build next to any water, you don't get the bonus at all, which is a bit sucky. This guy actually just stayed around and let us attack him and kill him, which is nice for our archers. It means they get a bunch of XP. And it also means that that encampment's probably really nearby. There's that Indonesian scout.
When you find yourself in a hole,
Mining.
quit digging.
When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging. Makes sense. So this allows us to build mines and quarries on hill tiles, which we don't have any of yet. But we might when we plan our new city. In fact, yeah, if we build a city somewhere here, we get some water resources, we get this resource, even this and this later on. I might build right here. Again, it is kind of far away. It'll also count as a coastal city, so it'll get some bonus to the water, not a whole lot, but it will also give us the boost to sailing. Okay, there's the encampment. Let's work on horseback riding. Our Met city-state has been defeated. Interesting. There are a few units back here. Is that the Indonesian scout? It might be. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to build right here, I think. Found city. There we go. The first settlement on... A city is placed on a continent that you have not settled. Cool. Is that a new continent? I didn't realize. Continents are pretty arbitrary lines, but they do give you boosts for certain civics when you find them. Cool, that's +2 error score. Got the tech boost for sailing. This warrior, I just want to scout out the surrounding area just a little bit. What are we going to build here? I think we're going to build an archer. Down here, we're just going to, at range, just start sniping you off. Awesome. Next turn. Anyway, this is probably it for the first episode of... Oh, there we go. Alexander is not happy with us settling relatively close to him. I don't think it's that close to him, so in that, like you know, my people settle where they please. I'll apologize. I'll look elsewhere in the future. I don't know if I plan to... Like, this isn't close. they just suicided into my unit, which is fine by me, because now I have a promotion, which I'm going to use straight away to heal it back up. Lovely.
Spotkanie przez Boga błogosławione.
And we've met Jadwiga. I think that's how it's pronounced, Jadwiga.
Król Polski.
It's Polish. We've met the Polish Empire, which is cool. Would you like to visit our nearby city? Yep. I met them as well, so they go on the history timeline. The Empire, cool. Alexander actually likes us. He's friendly, which is nice. The Empire. Let's choose our production. Wasn't I going to end this episode? I think I tried to end this episode, and then Alexander was like, "No, you will not end the episode yet. I have things I want to say. Let's build a monument." The monuments used to provide just culture, but now they provide +1 loyalty. Loyalty is a new thing in the expansion as well, which we'll get into a little bit later. But cities basically give some loyalty depending on how happy they are and how loyal the citizens are to the Empire. The issue there is if that gets too low, if that hits 0, I don't know if there's a way to... Oh, this is the way to look at it? Full loyalty? Yeah. If it gets to 0, then they can rebel and leave my empire. And if another civilization has good loyalty with that city later on, they might even join them. Which, we could also take advantage of later, but it's a good way to go. If we're at full loyalty, it also provides 1 extra culture, which is nice. We got this builder. I think before we send it up there, I'm going to send it just to build my second horses here. Let's just keep exploring this way. Got some marshes, okay. Just going to keep shooting. Okay, now we're going to end the episode. We're going to come back next time. I've been James, this has been the Cackling Jackal. This has been Genghis Khan for Civilization 6 Rise and Fall expansion, and I'll see you next time.